Imagine this, you're driving to work and suddenly your car breaks down, or maybe one day you lose your job unexpectedly. Now ask yourself, are you financially ready to handle such emergencies? Statistically, over 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing money or using credit. Think about that for a second. But what if I told you there's a way to avoid this financial stress entirely? Building an emergency fund is the ultimate safety net that protects you from life's unpredictable curveballs. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 simple yet powerful steps to create an emergency fund that works for you. And stick around till the end because I'll share a pro tip to grow your fund faster than you ever thought possible. Ready to take control of your finances? Let's dive in. Alright, first things first. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of financial planning. Let's figure out how much we're actually talking about here. It's not just about numbers, it's about peace of mind. The golden rule of emergency funds? You gotta have enough to cover at least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. This is your financial cushion, and I mean essential. Think rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, the stuff you absolutely cannot live without. These are your non-negotiables. If you're single and maybe living in a smaller place, 3 months might cut it. Your expenses are likely lower, and you have more flexibility. But if you've got a family to support, 6 months or more is the sweet spot. More people means more expenses, and you need a bigger buffer. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Graham, that sounds like a lot of money. And you're right, it is. But it's all about preparation. And yeah, it might seem daunting at first, but trust me, it's way better than being caught off guard when an unexpected bill hits. Imagine the stress of an emergency without a safety net. This isn't about saving up for a fancy vacation or that new phone you've had your eye on. Those are wants, not needs. This is your financial safety net, your peace of mind. It's about security and stability. It's for those, oh crap, moments in life. You know, when the unexpected happens and you need to act fast. So, grab a pen and paper or open up that notes app on your phone and let's break it down. This is where the real work begins. Write down every single essential expense you have each month. Be thorough and honest with yourself. Don't forget things like insurance premiums or student loan payments. Got your list? Good. These often overlooked expenses can add up. Now add it all up. That's your monthly nut. This is the amount you need to survive each month. Multiply that number by 3 or 6 and bam, you've got your emergency fund target. This is your goal, your financial safety net. Reaching this target might take time, but every little bit you save brings you closer to financial security. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your safety net grow. Okay, so we've got our target number. Now where are we gonna stash this cash? You can't just leave it sitting in your checking account, tempting you like a plate of cookies. We need to create a clear separation between your everyday spending money and your emergency fund. That's why opening a dedicated savings account is crucial. And no, your regular savings account won't cut it. We're talking about a high-yield savings account. These bad boys offer a much better interest rate, which means your money actually grows while it's sitting there. Think of it like this. A regular savings account is like storing your money under your mattress. It's safe, but it's not doing much else. A high-yield savings account is like putting your money to work for you, earning you free money while you sleep. There are tons of great options out there. Ally Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Discover Bank. These are just a few that come to mind. Do your research, compare rates, and find one that fits your needs. The key here is to make it as easy as possible to access your money in an emergency, but also keep it separate enough that you're not dipping into it for a random online shopping spree. Chapter 3. The secret sauce, automating your savings. Alright, we've got our goal, we've got our dedicated account, but how do we make sure we consistently save towards that goal without having to think about it every single time? Now let's talk about the real game-changer automation. This is where technology steps in to make our lives easier. Remember how I said we want to make this as effortless as possible? Imagine being able to save money without even having to think about it. That's where automatic transfers come in. By setting up automatic transfers, you can ensure that a portion of your income goes directly into your savings account. This is like setting your finances on autopilot. Just like an airplane on autopilot, your savings will grow without you having to manually intervene. Most banks allow you to set up recurring transfers from your checking account to your savings account. It's a feature that's often underutilized but incredibly powerful. Pick a date that works for you, maybe the same day you get paid, and decide how much you want to transfer each time. This way, you won't even miss the money because it never sits in your checking account long enough to be spent. Now, I know what you're thinking, Graham, I can barely afford my bills as it is, how am I supposed to save? And that's totally valid, it's a common concern, but there's a way around it. But here's the thing, you don't have to start big. Even small amounts can make a significant difference over time. Even if it's just $20 or $50 per paycheck, the important thing is to start somewhere. Consistency is key here. The habit of saving is more important than the amount you save initially. Think of it like working out. When you first start exercising, you don't lift the heaviest weights. You start with what you can handle and gradually increase the intensity. You wouldn't expect to bench press 200 pounds on your first day at the gym, right? The same logic applies to saving money. You start small and gradually increase the weight over time. As you get more comfortable, you can challenge yourself with heavier weights. The same principle applies to saving. Start with what you can comfortably afford, and as you get used to it, gradually increase the amount. Over time, you'll find it easier to save more. Start with what you can comfortably afford, and as you get used to it, gradually increase the amount. The key is to make saving a regular part of your financial routine. You'll be surprised how quickly those small amounts add up over time. Before you know it, you'll have a substantial savings cushion, all thanks to the power of automation and consistency. Chapter 4: Unlocking Hidden Cash, the Art of Cutting Back. Now let's get real for a second. Cutting back on expenses isn't the most glamorous topic, but it's one of the most impactful steps you can take towards financial freedom. I know, talking about cutting expenses can feel like being told to eat your vegetables. It's not always fun, but it's necessary for your financial health. But trust me, this is where the magic happens. When you start to see the savings add up, you'll realize the power of small changes. Most people dramatically underestimate how much they spend on unnecessary things. That daily latte, those quick stops at the convenience store, those subscription boxes you never actually use, and those streaming services you forgot you even had. Eating out because you're too tired to cook, it all adds up. These small, seemingly insignificant expenses can drain your wallet over time. I'm not saying you have to become a hermit and live off ramen noodles. It's about finding a balance that works for you. But take a look at your spending habits and ask yourself, what can I cut back on without drastically impacting my quality of life? Maybe you can brew your own coffee a couple of times a week instead of hitting up Starbucks every day. Or maybe you can try cooking at home more often instead of ordering takeout. Not only is it cheaper, but it's often healthier too. Small changes can make a big difference. Over time, these small adjustments can lead to significant savings. And here's a little secret. Cutting back on unnecessary spending isn't about deprivation. It's about being intentional with your money. It's about being mindful and making conscious choices. It's about deciding what's truly important to you and allocating your resources accordingly. It's about prioritizing your needs and wants and making sure your spending aligns with your values and goals. Think of it this way. Every dollar you save is a dollar closer to your financial goals. It's a dollar that can be working for you, growing your emergency fund and securing your future. It's a dollar that can be invested, saved, or used to pay down debt. It's a step towards financial freedom and peace of mind. So, start small, be consistent, and watch how these little changes can transform your financial landscape. The art of cutting back is truly an art worth mastering. Chapter 5. Supercharge your savings. Unlocking your earning potential. Alright, we've talked about saving, we've talked about cutting back. Now let's talk about making more money. Because at the end of the day, the more you earn, the easier it is to reach your financial goals. In today's world, there are endless opportunities to boost your income. Whether it's freelancing, starting a side hustle, or even just asking for a raise at your current job, there's something out there for everyone. Think about your skills and interests. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? Chances are there's a way to monetize it. Maybe you're a great writer and could offer freelance writing services, or maybe you're a whiz at social media and could help businesses manage their online presence. The possibilities are endless. And the best part is, any extra income you generate can go straight into your emergency fund, supercharging your savings rate. It's like adding fuel to the fire. Remember, building wealth isn't just about saving money, it's also about increasing your income. So, get out there, explore your options, and start unlocking your earning potential. Here's the bonus tip I promised. Once your emergency fund reaches its goal, don't stop. Move to the next stage, invest that extra money into something that grows, like index funds or a retirement account. But remember, your emergency fund is sacred. Use it only for emergencies. It's your shield against life's uncertainties, so guard it fiercely. Now that you know how to build an emergency fund, it's time to learn how to grow your wealth further. Check out my next video, The Beginner's Guide to Investing, How to Make Your Money Work for You. Click on the link in the end screen, and let's continue this journey toward financial freedom together. Because you deserve to live a wealthy, stress-free life. Let's make it happen.